Good evening, Vegas sports fans. I'm Rob Heffner, aka Vegas Rob, live on the Out of the Box Sports Network. With me is my wonderful co host, Paul Spencer. He has agreed to do the co hosting duties once again. And very shortly, within like the next week, I will be having my very own co host here on the show. So, I will have a co-host joining the out of the box family. So, how's it going tonight, Paul? How's life in Johnstown?
It's a little cold today. It's right now. It's 59 degrees, Rob. I know where you're at. It's a little bit warmer, but I wish I was out there with you. But 59 degrees today, Rob.
Yeah, we've had a little bit of a cool off here. It's only about 88 today, but still sunny and still very nice. So this cooling off is good every once in a while too, because the summer is just starting to begin here, and it's going to be a hot one like it always is here in the desert.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes I wish I was out there, Rob, just to feel the heat from this weather that we have here. Sometimes it snows in June up here, so it's. I
Right.
wish I was out there. I wish I was out there sometimes, Rob.
Right. Well, we've got some exciting news coming out of the Vegas sports scene this week. The Vegas Golden Knights have announced that they have officially hired their third coach in franchise history. Uh,
Hmm.
Bruce Cassidy is the new Golden Knights bench boss. He previously had coached 6 seasons with the Boston Bruins, and had a lot of success in Boston. He is a very uh, interesting candidate. He has a very impressive resume and has coached 6 playoff teams in Boston during his tenure there in Beantown.
Hmm.
So I'm really excited. I'm really excited about this guy. He's very uh, defensive minded. An old school defenseman, uh, kind of a coach. So I'm very excited about this new era of hockey, and hopefully we can get back to our winning ways here in Sin City. It's great that they have finally hired a coach. He sort of was what I call a wild card hire. He wasn't somebody that was available. He only became available a couple days ago. He was fired by the Bruins after the loss to the Carolina Hurricanes. In the 7 game series. So he recently had just become available.
Yeah, I mean, I know his tenure was when he played with he was a head coach for bench boss with Boston there. I believe he had a great record there, Rob, didn't he? I mean, I think he was like way over 500. I think he was like near 250 and like 110 or something like that.
Yeah,
But
he
the one
he
thing I
had
can say is his playoff record was pretty bad, though, wasn't it?
he had a record of 245 wins,
Hmm.
108 losses, and then 46 ties.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, he had a pretty impressive coaching record in Boston, and had some pretty successful teams. And yeah, he definitely has quite the interesting hockey resume too. He also had a coaching stint with the Washington Capitals in the early 2000s.
Hmm.
And then he also had coached in the AHL and had success there. So,
Hmm.
he has a very extensive, hockey background. And, I honestly believe that, he is motivated to bringing a Stanley Cup, to this city. He basically said in his opening press conference that he wants his name on the Stanley Cup. So I think, he's going to be extremely, extremely dedicated to, coming out here and, getting a winner on the ice. And he actually fits with the defensive mindset that we, run here in Vegas. Not only are we tough on defense, but we can also score goals and put points up on the board. And you always have to have in hockey. You always have to have good defense, because no lead is safe in the NHL if you can't play defense. So
yeah, that was going to be my question for you. How does the system fit him with the players that you have? Is now, Rob, is the same philosophy with the other coach? Like, I don't follow Vegas that much, Rob, but I know you're always out there watching it. Now, with the former coach and Cassidy here, are they pretty much exactly the same type of motivator coach, or is it just is he very vocal is what I'm asking pretty much?
I don't know if they're similar, but I like the fact that Cassidy has a extensive experience with the defensive side of the thing, side of the game. We can obviously score goals if everybody is relatively healthy in this lineup. We can certainly put up goals. And I think his defensive scheme and defensive strategy is going to be something to definitely watch with this team. I've watched every game since the Golden Knights have started, and honestly, I can say that I'm really pumped up about this guy, and I think he's a nice fit. And he also has a history with the Golden Knights president of operations, George McPhee. Actually, it was McPhee that gave him his first NHL head coaching opportunity with the Washington Capitals. So there is a relationship there. Okay. And as well, he said during his introductory press conference that coaching in Boston, he developed a relationship with Patriots coach Bill Belichick and our new Raiders coach Josh McDaniels. So there's definitely some interesting facets to this whole thing. And it's funny because he has a 10 or 11-year-old son, and the son is a big, Boston fan, Red Sox, Patriots, the whole deal. And, Cassidy pretty much said to him, look, we're going to be Golden Knights now, and we've got to root for the Raiders. He goes, I'll let you have the Red Sox. He goes, but we got to go Golden Knights and Raiders. So,
you know what? Yeah, his dad pays the bills, so you know what? Hey, it's time to jump ship if you want to eat pretty good. So, real quick, you have a comment here. Pat Bernard, you can check him out on the Gobbler Rink on Devereaux Sports tomorrow. Actually, it's Sunday, 9 a.m. You can check them out. Cassidy, he turned Boston in a hiccup. He's a perfect fit for Vegas. So Pat's agreeing with you. He's a good fit for Vegas, which I agree there too. Coming from Boston, he did change that franchise around. How do you feel about that, Rob? Before we bring up the next comment.
How do I feel about him changing around? What he did in Boston.
Yeah, do you think that's going to reflect coming to Las Vegas, that that capacity where he changed the system around and made him reputable again? Let's put it that way.
Yeah, definitely. I do agree. I do agree with that. And like I said, his coaching, his hockey resume overall, impressed me, because when he played in the NHL, he played for the Chicago Blackhawks. He actually was actually was a defenseman. And then after he was done playing in the NHL, he also went on to play internationally in Germany and Italy. So, he has an extensive knowledge of the game, and too, with him coaching in the AHL, that is very beneficial too, because we do have a farm system, here in Henderson. They're called the Henderson Silver Knights. So I think with his background and his knowledge of the game, I think it's a good fit. And honestly, he seems really thrilled about wanting to come here. To Las Vegas. He said during his introductory press conference that when the Bruins would come to town twice a year, that he would actually circle the Vegas dates on his calendar, and a lot of the Boston players would too. So this is definitely a big attraction, and a place that people want to come. And he's apparently a golfer. He loves to golf, and there's amazing golf courses right here in the valley too. So I think personally for him, it's a good fit, and I think for us too, as a team, it's going to be a good fit.
Well, Rob, I know you're from Philadelphia. You do follow the Flyers, quite frequently, and that's pretty much your hearted team, put it that way. But you're transported out to Vegas. We have a comment here with Joe Sullivan. You can check him out every Monday on the Devereaux Sports, the Sully Squad. Joe Sullivan, give him a like, share, a follow. Also, he's a great guy. He'll be tuning in time to time on our shows, doing collaborations with us. So check him out. He says, I have preferred Cassidy to go to Philadelphia. So that tells you something from a Flyers standpoint, a fan of the Flyers. I wish we could have got Cassidy instead of Tordello, So they agree with you. They agree, Rob.
Well, first let me say hi to my boy Joe Sullivan. I can't wait to get you on the show one of these days, Joey, and we'll talk some Raiders. Definitely Tortorella. He's a bit of a hothead, and I think with Tortorella, you just don't know what you're going to get from a hockey standpoint. You watch his YouTube press conferences. The press conferences will be a lot more interesting to watch. But I mean, honestly, there has to be a reason. And I think, was it Pat Bernard said the other night on the Philly show, there has to be a reason that no one else other than Tortorella wanted to come to Philadelphia. And yeah, I am a true Philadelphia sports fan, and true to Vegas as well. But honestly, Paul, the Flyers last year were just simply hard to watch. So I've questioned why nobody wanted to go to Philly. Now I'll give the guy a chance. I wasn't all that crazy about the hire, and actually I'm glad that he didn't come here to Vegas, because I don't know that the Vegas media would have been able to handle him, because he's a little rough around the edges, honestly. And when you listen to the Las Vegas sports media as opposed to any sports media, especially in the Northeast, I mean, Vegas is so much more laid back, and back east media, New York, Philly, Boston, those areas and those media markets, they're just they're just brutal. They're just downright brutal. And yeah, they wouldn't have known how to deal with Tortorella. So I was glad that he didn't come here. Glad that he didn't come here to the Golden Knights. And we'll see how he does. We'll see how he does in Philly. I would probably make a prediction right now that he probably will not last 3 seasons in Philadelphia. And I think the Golden Knights are going to win a Stanley Cup before the Flyers. And I love the Flyers. I grew up watching the Flyers, but right now, I just think this team is further along. Okay, I guess I lost. Paul. I don't know. What happened to Paul here, but we'll move on and proceed with the show, and then if Paul's able to join us again, we'll certainly welcome him back on to the show. But now I want to move on, and I want to talk about Raiders OTAs. This year's Raiders team is actually in a pretty good position with the talent that they have signed in the offseason and what they currently have on the roster. Oh, there you are, Paul.
Hey, Rob, sorry about that. My dog just ran in here and kicked the cord for a second, so I'm running it from my phone here. I'm going to boot my computer up real quick, but I'm
okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. I moved on to Raiders OTAs now.
Okay.
So, like I was saying before you came, back on, and I appreciate you coming, back on. And yeah, we both have animals, and yeah, sometimes they do kick cords out of the way, knock stuff over, hop up on your desk. It's all a part of having an animal. But this year's Raiders team, definitely has signed enough of talent in the offseason that they don't necessarily have to rely on their rookies and their draft class to fill in holes.
Right. I agree with that.
I mean, what they've done in the offseason here has been phenomenal. Now, the only rookie coming in that I see possibly competing for a starting job would be guard Dylan Parham. He is a guard that was drafted, in the third round, and they do have some questions. They do have some questions on the offensive line, so he can come in, through training camp, and possibly compete for a starting job. And also the young defensive lineman Neil Farrell and Matthew Butler, and then also running back Zamir White, have a chance to not necessarily compete for a starting job, but I think that they can work them in, rotationally into some rotation, situations and things like that. So the offseason has certainly been great. And then Joe Sullivan says Raiders had a great offseason. Hopefully adding Adams and Carr will get his respect. I mean, definitely, bringing in guys like they have in the offseason, it changes the whole dynamic of this Raiders team, and it's going to be some good football for sure, some good physical, smash mouth football that we it kind of reminds me of the NFC East in the in the early 90s. I'm hoping that it's going to be that good a quality of football because honestly, when your 1 o'clock games are over back east, flip on them AFC West games, because I'm going to tell you, I think there's going to be a lot of good football coming out of that division this year.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be a great season in the AFC West. I think it's something to look for. There's 4 dominating teams out there that could go either way, Rob, from 1 to 4, 4 to 1. We don't know yet, with all the moves, Denver, the Raiders, what they did, the Chargers rebuilding that defense. And of course, you have the Chiefs losing things, but you have Patrick Mahomes. What else can you ask for?
Right. Definitely. Funny story. There's actually a Denver Broncos bar down the street from my house. And I didn't know this until I walked in there one day wearing a Raiders hat, and I realized I was in a Broncos bar. You should have seen some of the looks I got.
Yeah. Yep.
And two, ironically, with that being said, Paul, the bar has a part owner by the name of Mr. Jim Ross, from AEW. He is a part owner of this bar.
Wow, I did not know that. Wow,
yeah.
That's interesting to know.
Okay, so Ken Fry checks in. Some O-line turnover. It may need time to gel. And two, I can definitely put this out there now. Ken Fry is going to be my new co-host on the show. So definitely we're going to welcome Ken into the Out of the Box family. It'll be great to have him on board talking some Raiders. And honestly, when I talk about Raiders fans or, the Raiders in general, I mean, this guy has been a Raiders fan his whole life. This guy, bleeds Raider Nation. So it's going to be a good addition to have him on, definitely. So I look forward to that. And, we will definitely get some good conversations going on, regarding the Raiders here.
That's awesome, Ken. Welcome to the family. My name is Paul. I'm one of the co-founders. Welcome to the network. Welcome to the family, man. We greatly appreciate that. Definitely.
And then two, looking back, looking at the OTAs, the Raiders are going to give Alex Leatherwood an opportunity to start also on the offensive line. He was drafted last year out of Alabama, and they were expecting big things, from him. And honestly, I think he's going to gel, and he's gonna turn into a phenomenal lineman, I think, and be a big part of that offensive line. But they are also looking at a person by the name of Brandon Parker, also at that tackle position. So there could be a little bit of a battle there in training camp with regard to that. But I think at the end of the day, Leatherwood and Joe Sullivan's absolutely right. Leatherwood definitely has to step up. The Raiders are expecting big things from him, and I'm hopeful that he will step up and he will be the starter. Coming out of training camp, definitely. But yeah, I'm looking forward to some big things. There's going to be that battle to watch during training camp. There's also going to be numerous positions that that we're going to be looking at. Right now there are a total of like 7 tight ends and 7 running backs on this roster. So there's definitely a lot of talent that's going to be, sweating it out here in training camp and, busting their ass to, try to make this team. That's for sure. I'm hoping that training camp will be open to the public out here for at least a day or two, because I'd like to get out there and definitely check them out, in camp.
Now, Rob, where did they hold that out there, in Vegas? Do they do that at Allegiant Stadium or no, Rob? Or is it at a different facility?
They actually have their practice facility in Henderson, which is about 30 miles outside of Vegas.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're the practice facility, the team headquarters, and everything is all out there. They built a magnificent facility for them out there. So yeah, I mean, definitely Vegas is a place to be. From a sports standpoint, man, because it's
Hey there, Rob. Sorry about that. They switched over.
no problem. But yeah, definitely, Vegas is the hot spot to be, and like you said, the sports the sports mecca, and yeah, this team is just going to be something to watch. I can't wait. I'm excited for football season. I'm excited for hockey season. I will be glued. I will be virtually glued to my TV.
Yeah, I will too. I mean, I can't wait for football season to come up, Rob. My question to you actually is what Joe Sullivan just said here, right here. I'm going to bring this up. I'm excited to see how McDaniels is doing his second go around as head coach. Interested to see if the difference is offense. Is it going to be a Patriots offense, or will it be a different look for what he has, like a Devontae Adams car type?
Well, I think he's gonna put his own spin on it, his own terminology on it, but I think it will be similar to what Belichick has running New England.
Okay.
And then Joe Sullivan says free agents will flock to Vegas. Well, that's the hope, with the Golden Knights and the Raiders too. I mean, it's just an appealing place for players to move to. The weather is phenomenal. You like to play golf. You can play golf virtually all year. I can tell you that I'll get my shorts out in March, and I'll wear them all the way through to the first or second week in November. The weather out here, it's just great. It's just great all the way around.
Yeah. Let's another comment real quick. Speaking of your starting running back, Brandon Jacobs will have a huge year. What do you think about that? Because I know the depth chart in the running backs are pretty deep this year. And then you brought in our next topic about Brandon Bolden as well from the Patriots, McDaniels type guy. How do you think Jacobs will rebound last year, especially this year under a different type of offense? What do you think about that, Rob?
Well, he needs to have a big year. This is a big year for him because he's in the last year of his rookie contract. So he's looking to be re-signed, and like you said, there are so many running backs in the room. Yeah, he definitely needs to be on his A game, and I'm rooting for him. I'm on the Jacobs train. I've liked the guy, coming out of college, and we talked before the show about our extensive jersey collections. I actually have a Josh Jacobs jersey. I am definitely on board, with him, and the Devontae Adams jersey is soon going to be next.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I like the Jacobs story. I'm a huge college fan, as we know. And his story where, yes, he was a standout at Alabama, but a lot of people don't know during his high school years, he was homeless and lived in a car for many years, still playing football. That was a huge story where he came from. So how can you not root a guy, against a guy like that as well,
Sure. Definitely. Absolutely. But yeah, he needs to have a good year. And Joe Sullivan goes, he's one of Madoc's one of the last picks of Madoc's picks.
Yeah.
The Delco guy. Yeah, definitely. So without a doubt. But I'm still rooting for the rooting for the guys that are still here from what they call the the old regime. It's all one team, and like the late great Al Davis said, just win, baby. And that's what Vegas wants. They want to have a Super Bowl championship, with the parade here in Las Vegas. And I'll tell you, when that finally happens, that's going to be one hell of an event.
Yeah, that's something, even if you're not a Raiders fan, you might want to come out there and watch that. Ken Fry said Jacobs did not get enough touches last year. He did miss some games due to injury. And there's a backup comment there. If he's healthy, they need to feed him the ball. Yeah, I agree with that. What do you think about that, Rob? I mean, he is your workhorse. So he needs to get the touches, definitely.
Oh yeah, definitely. If he's healthy, you need to get him the ball. Absolutely.
And I think it's really going to open up for him this year, Rob. I mean, you have Devontae Adams, you got Hunter Renfrow as well, and you have Darren Waller, which is, on the tight end that can move a hybrid outside wide receiver. And if that O-line gels that we talk about, like Leatherwood, things like that, this could be a very scary offense with Derek Carr back there having time to throw the ball and with a complete running game. So this is a team you want to look out for. Definitely is, Rob.
Yeah, without a doubt, I'm excited. I'm excited to get it going, and let's see what they can do for sure.
No, definitely. I'm definitely waiting. I know we did the Cowboy show on Wednesday, and there was 88 days left over. So now we're about 84 days, right?
Yeah,
so,
84.
Oh boy, I can't wait, Rob. I wish we just had a fast forward button right now.
Yeah, no, we gotta get you out here for a Raiders Cowboys game, next time they play.
Rob, you know what? As soon as that happens, I will definitely be out there because you know what? I will spend time with you, and Vegas is my second home, Rob. Like I told you before, I usually come out there at least twice a year, and I was out there last year. And I tell you, like, I don't even need a hotel room, Rob. I spend maybe an hour in the hotel room to shower, and that's it. But next game, Rob, I will definitely be there, and I'm going to be knocking on your door and saying, I'm here, Rob.
Absolutely, man. The door is always open for the Out of the Box family.
Definitely, it's always open here. Even Joe Sullivan knows he can come to my door anytime. We're already planning a couple trips. Paul, me, you are flying out. I got the tickets. That's right. Joe Sullivan is actually a Raiders season ticket holder. Joe, that's it. You know what? We're going out there.
I've got to definitely have a conversation with Joey regarding some tickets because I'd like to try to go to two to three games this year.
Yeah, Rob, I took the stadium tour of Allegiant Stadium, the dark hole out there. And I tell you, Rob, that stadium, it is insane the way it looks. There's just the way they put that together. It's just so much technology, Rob. It's insane. It really is.
Oh yeah. Just with the turf alone and the retractable roof and the way that they did things with the turf, or the natural grass. I did see a program on TV about how they did it, and yeah, it's definitely going to be something to see. I have not yet, but yeah, it's definitely on my list to do this year. And now that I have a hookup for tickets,
See, Out of the Box is good for everything. We got you covered on sports. We got you covered on tickets. Whatever you need, Out of the Box is there for you. But just trying real quick there, Rob. Those receivers in Waller will spread out the defenses and create lanes for Jacobs. Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, this year could be a standout year for Jacobs because with the weapons, like I said, they have, you can't key on just one person anymore. You had Waller out there double teaming, getting to receiving that double team with Hunter Renfrow in the slot. Now you bring in Devontae Adams, and it's just pick your poison now, Rob. So I think it's going to be really creative out there because we know McDaniels is a very creative offensive coordinator. We know that he's going to find ways to get people the ball. So you can't just key on one person, Rob.
Absolutely. So now we'll move on to Connor Bolden.
Okay. Go ahead, Rob.
Okay, so Connor Bolden, he actually came to the Raiders from New England. He was a McDaniels guy in the offense. He spent 8 seasons, there with the Patriots and had won 2 Super Bowls. So he came out and he made a comment the other day. I was reading, that he's really trying to push people in the running back room, and I think it's good, to bring in a veteran that are going to push some of the other guys and motivate them to learn this system and to get on the train, so to speak, of the McDaniels system. He's only going to help this team. And honestly, in my opinion, I could actually see him getting involved on special teams.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's a great pickup, especially like you said, coming from the McDaniels tree in Boston. In New England. He's a 10-year vet, 9 years in the Patriots, 1 with Miami, which we're not even going to talk about that year. That was just a, get out of here. We want you back here. But
right,
he's actually going to bring a lot of knowledge. To me, it's a locker room boost, Rob, because coming from the McDaniels tree, they're Super Bowl champions. They've won before. So the terminology is there, and also the understanding like, hey, listen to me. Buy into McDaniel's system. It works. Work your butt off. It works. Look where I'm at. I'm a backup. I have rings. So I think it's a great, boost to the team itself, a morale as well. Not only a depth chart, add, but to me, it's a morale boost for the team.
Well,
leadership.
Yeah, his leadership and being on those Super Bowl teams and actually having those experiences. This team needs that kind of leadership. In the locker room. So like I said, I see him being a big part of the Raiders' success, and I believe that he will be playing significantly on special teams.
Right. I mean, his numbers have never been great as a backup. I think he's never had over like 3 touchdowns per year. Never gained over like 300 yards per season. But as a backup, he's going to give you 150% no matter what. And I honestly think it's a great pickup. I mean, it's not very much money out there. And what better way do you have Jacobs that could be a true stud in his rookie contract ending year to have a guy like Bolden come in here and say, listen, understand the system. You're great. You could be something great. Feed into the system, learn the system. Sky's the limits, man. Raiders, just like you said, just win, baby. That's all they have to do.
Right. Yeah, definitely. So, honestly, I see the AFC West coming down to the Chargers and the Raiders, honestly.
Okay. I have to go opposite with you, Rob. We were talking on a show a couple nights ago, and with Mike Laura, he asked me who I thought was coming out of the AFC West, because that's, to me, probably going to be the strongest division out there, from top to bottom. And I got to go with the sleeper out there. A lot of people don't look at it this way, but I'm going to go Denver. I mean, I think they solidified a lot of holes out there, and they do have that guy named Russell Wilson too. He can win you games. He can win you games just by being Russell Wilson, and we know that.
Yeah, that they definitely do, and they have solidified their team quite a bit, and then adding Russell Wilson just kind of puts them in a whole other puts them on a whole other level. So it is. It's going to be very very interesting to watch. I do think that the Chargers have done more in the off season compared to Denver, and with them having Herbert and Mac and the weapons that they have on offense. That's kind of why I think it's going to come down to the Raiders, the Chargers, and then the Broncos. And actually, I kind of see Kansas City may be going a little bit backwards.
Yeah, I agree with you. Just like Joe Sullivan said there, Tyreek Hill leaving is huge. I mean, that's a huge 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns a year for you. So they have to find that, receiver to take away that as well. But I think the Chargers, I think it's going to go Broncos, Chargers, Raiders, and Chiefs this year, Rob.
Okay, well, you know what? We'll see. That's what that's what makes this fun, and it's okay to disagree, because we can certainly debate many topics in sports. That's for sure.
Right.
He had a little over 400 yards receiving out of the backfield. I guess Ken is maybe referring to.
He's talking about Bolden.
Bolden. Okay, yeah, yeah. He's not a statistical, off the charts kind of a guy, but he's a solid backup, can be a solid, mentor in the locker room for the young nucleus of his team, and he knows the McDaniels system for sure. So with that being said, I'm gonna be looking at him too. I think he definitely makes the roster, and he'll find his place on special teams. So Ken Fry says Chargers number 1, Raiders 2, and KC 4. All double-digit team. All teams win double digits. I could definitely.
Yeah, that's actually a bold statement that all the teams have a double-digit win this year in the conference or in the division. I mean, that's definitely telling you that a wild card is coming out of that division right there.
Oh, I think it's the best. I think it's the best division in football. Honestly, coming into the year and all the talent that is in that division. I mean, you've got 4 superstar, MVP caliber, quarterbacks in the same division. I mean, how often does that happen?
Yeah, I mean, you have 4 potential Pro Bowl quarterbacks, on paper out there. We know Mahomes is what he is, and Carr has the weapons now. Justin Herbert, we know he's just one of the most insane, not a rookie anymore, but a seasoned quarterback. And we know Russell Wilson. And just like Joe Sullivan said, AFC is going to be a gauntlet, but that division, AFC West, that is a gauntlet and a half, just the 4 teams right there. That's 7 games you're playing between other 6 games. Is insane. Those go a long way. Yeah,
no, it's definitely gonna be wild. I'm excited to watch it, and I'm glad to have a division like that again, because you haven't seen a division like that for quite some time. So yeah, it's gonna be good to. It's going to be good to watch. Like I said, I'll be watching the Eagles at 1:00, and then Raiders are on at 4, and then I've got 3 or 4 other devices that I can stream off of. So I'll have the Chargers game on. I'll have the Broncos game on. So yeah.
Well, Rob, let me ask you real quick, not to cut you off, but where does my Cowboys fit in? Are you ever going to have time to watch my Cowboys, Rob?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'll find some time. Christmas Eve is going to be one of those. It's going to be one of those days. I'm really looking forward to that matchup. And then also on Christmas Eve as well, the Steelers and the Raiders do battle. So that's gonna be an interesting game.
Yep. Here's a couple comments real quick. Mike Laurel, you can check him out on our network here, Out of the Box Sports Network, every Thursday night at 8 p.m. You can also check him out on Devereaux Sports, actually tomorrow at 9 a.m. Gobbler Rink, you can check them out as well. Here's a question now, Rob. You know as well, we talk a lot. And I grew up in California for a while. My dad was in the military. We lived near Palm Springs. And that 3-hour delay, back in being Pacific time, What's it like waking up and watching games at 10 o'clock? Because I remember those days, Rob. How do you do that?
It has taken me some time it took me some time to get used to when I first moved out here, because it's like okay, you get up, and do you have coffee to drink with your breakfast, or do you go right into the Bloody Mary? Do you stay home and watch the 10 o'clock game, or do you go out to the bar? And so there have been times where I've been at a bar, drinking by 9 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning, and then couple of years ago when the Eagles played, I believe it was the Jacksonville Jaguars over in London, I was at an Eagles bar at 6 a.m. Vegas time.
Mm-hmm.
And watching the game from the Eagles bar, drinking a beer at 6 a.m. It's the earliest I ever woke up and started drinking. But
it's weird because when my dad passed away 6 years ago, but he lived out in Palm Springs where he retired, and I remember calling him on Monday night and saying, "Dad, are you ready for this game?" He's like, "Paul, I'm not even home yet. It's only 4:30. What do you mean I'm not even home yet?" I'm like, "Oh, that's right. It's not even 5 o'clock there because you guys get the game at 5:20."
And what's really awesome too is you're sitting out here watching the Sunday night game, and the Sunday night game starts at 5 o'clock. So it's still it's still sunny out here, man. And then the rest of the people, like you out there in Johnstown, people back east, it's dark for you all, back there. So
yes.
It's definitely something. I've been to places out here. I've been to friends' homes where they have outdoor setups, on their patio with big screen TVs, the whole nine. And we'd be sitting out here just relaxing in the sun with a couple of drinks, watching the Sunday night game. So yeah, it's definitely it's been a cool experience to live out here, and just to watch football on a Sunday in general is cool. And then I a couple of times I went to the Westgate, which is the Superbook, here in Las Vegas, and I've sat and watched football, on their setup, that they have, and they have some nice looking ladies, walking around with food, trying to selling you food, selling you beer. It's a real spectacle to be able to just go and watch a game virtually anywhere out here. I mean, later on, as we get into training camp and stuff here, I will post on Out of the Box. There's a list of NFL bars that comes out every year, and every NFL team has an individual bar in Las Vegas. So I will definitely put that list.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I will put that list on the Out of the Box Sports network. And if anybody is coming to Vegas, traveling to Vegas, let me know, because I'll meet up with you at whatever place or whatever bar you want to meet up at. I'll even go to the Cowboys bar with you, Paul.
Okay, you heard it here first on Out of the Box Sports Network. Rob Heffner did say he will go to a Cowboys bar.
And I say that because they have a good steak dinner, and they've got some pretty nice looking waitresses walking around in some pretty nice bikinis, and it's a pretty nice atmosphere. Let's just say I walked in there one night after work and ended up judging a wet t-shirt contest. pretty wild,
Nothing wrong with that night. Nothing wrong with that night.
Yeah.
Rob.
So I mean,
clear winner.
Hey, I mean, I'll go to a Cowboys bar with you, and I've heard all the jokes about the Cowboys. You know what people say about Cowboys bars back east. Well, we're not going to get into that, but I can tell you the Cowboys bar out here, yeah, it's definitely the scenery's definitely worth checking out.
Yeah, definitely. Here's a couple comments real quick. Rob will put them in here. Joe Sullivan said, if my life wasn't here, I'd be living out there. Joe, I'm with you. Rob and I talked about that. My came down to, after I retired, either moving to Johnstown because my friend lives up here, was either Dallas, Texas, or Las Vegas. So here's another comment. Joe Sullivan, you can check Diego out also on Sully Squad every Monday night at 6 p.m. Diego Blanchard. He's one of the co-hosts with Joe Sullivan. He's going out to Vegas, Rob. So, hey, you know what? Send him a friend request and let him know what's going on out there. Good places to go as well. And, of course, we have Mike Laurel. Hey, Mike Laurel, me and the wife will be out there in November. There you go, Rob. Part of the family is coming out to see you.
Good. Definitely. Everybody on the out of the box sports network should plan one big trip. We all should just have a Vegas Vegas gathering or a reunion. It would definitely be cool to do that for sure. We would have to visit we'd have to visit several bars and several restaurants so that everybody gets their team fix. But I know, like I said, I know of a couple of good places to go. I know of a good Eagles bar out here. I know the owner of the Eagles bar, and he's actually a Delco boy, and in fact, he knows that I'm doing this show, and I think he does check in on the show.
Well, Rob, you know what? Speaking of get-togethers, Joe Sullivan, he's such a great friend of ours. He's a comedian as well. Joe Sullivan divorce party. Just joking. Hey, you know what, Joe? Listen, man. After all said and done, what you've been through, brother, I nominate that day. That day,
well,
you make it happen, and we can do it.
We can certainly help you. We can certainly help you celebrate that. Let me tell you, there's
one better place than Las Vegas, 24/7.
Hey, out of the box sports network in Vegas would be like Hangover #5. Do you ever see the Hangover movies?
As long as I'm not Mr. Chow, okay.
Well, I wonder who the guy would be that would be stranded on the hotel roof.
You know what? When you haven't seen me when I go to Vegas, Rob, that'll probably be me on the Caesars Palace, podium up there. That'll probably be me. That would probably be me, Rob. Either find me there or find me in a casino where they have sports betting or the poker table. That's all you got to look for.
Well,
three places I'll be.
Geez, I'd be going around Vegas looking for you for days, man, because you're.
I know.
There's not a place here where you can't gamble. You can even go to the grocery store and play slot machines.
Well, Rob, as soon as you get in the airport, as soon as you get off the airplane, there's slot machines right then and there. Like wow.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's still called the McCarran Airport, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Actually, they just changed the name. They just changed the name of the airport. It's now Harry Reid International Airport. He was the longtime serving U.S. Senator here in Nevada. He is since out of office and has passed away. But yeah, they named the airport. They renamed the airport after him. So it's Harry Reid International now.
All right. Well, you know what? Out of the box needs to make a trip out to see you, Rob. But hey, let's talk about the next subject, Rob. You brought this to my attention out there. What do you think? LeBron James, Floyd Money Mayweather, NBA expansion. In your eyes, Rob, since you live out there, what is the best fit for Sin City?
Well, Money Mayweather, he does live here. He does live here in the community. He's out and about, in the community. So he definitely, I'm not surprised that he that he doesn't have an interest. But I don't know. It's gonna be interesting because it's basically, LeBron has him beat from a money standpoint. LeBron definitely has more money, but too when you go into buying these teams and stuff, you develop an ownership group and what have you. And this had come out actually days after LeBron made his interest known that he wanted to own an NBA franchise here. So yeah, it definitely will be interesting. It's going to essentially it'll be a pissing contest between LeBron and Mayweather. But like we mentioned in the show last week, the NBA currently doesn't have any interest in expanding at this time. But either one of them could always buy a team and relocate it here. So it would be interesting. New Orleans would definitely be a possibility to relocate. The Sacramento Kings would also be another one. With the Golden State Warriors in California, the Lakers and the Clippers. California is kind of saturated with teams, and Sacramento, they don't really seem to be getting any of that California love. So that could be a possible team that they may move. How soon that's going to happen? I don't know. I would say probably, and this is just strictly my opinion, and my prediction with this, I would say within the next 3 to 5 years, you have an NBA franchise here.
Yeah, I think so.
I think you only have one NBA franchise here. I don't think Las Vegas would be a place where you could do a Lakers, Clippers type of situation, because I just don't think we would have the fan base to be able to support two franchises. So yeah, definitely this is a developing story, and I do my very best to keep everybody updated on what is transpiring here in this sports mecca. It's not a future sports mecca. It is becoming the sports mecca. Now, with that being said, we can move on to the topic of whether Las Vegas will become a future sports mecca of the world. Yeah, I do. I think that Ken Fry says Sacramento still has a team. LOL. Yeah, they still have a team up there.
Yeah, everybody's agreeing that I think it's Sacramento is the leading factor here. Just like Evan Lauro, that's Mike Lauro's son on 4 for 4 Thursday nights.
Well, and speaking
small market.
And speaking of LeBron, Paul, I don't really want to get too far off topic here, but speaking of LeBron, they've come out and they've said that he is he's not going to sign an extension with the Lakers this summer. So if he does not sign an extension with the Lakers, where do you see King James ending up? Or our viewers out there, if you want to chime in on this, where do you see him? Where do you see him ending up?
Rob, we spoke off camera a lot. We always talk about, we post everything on Out of the Box Sports, and we did put that about the LeBron. He has no, signing options right now. He is not sure what he wants to do. But I've never been a LeBron fan. I respect his game 100%. We know that. But to me, I think now he's going to chase the easiest ring out there. There was a rumor that he wants to look at Golden State now.
Yes, I read that the other day.
He's chasing rings to me, but excuse me, LeBron is still a great player. He's still top 3 in the league, no matter what people say. I respect that. But LeBron is a billionaire, Rob. He's a billionaire now.
Right.
He's a
right.
very smart mogul of money, sports wise, franchise wise. I wouldn't be surprised, Rob, that his last year or two, when he knows he's done, he goes to Sacramento and tells them, like, look, I won't take a max contract, but I want ownership value. And then when his time is done, he buys a team and takes them to Las Vegas. He's that kind of business mogul where I think he could do, and he has that choice, because LeBron is the face of the NBA. People like it or not, he's still the face of the NBA, and he owns Silverman.
I agree. I agree with that 100%. And then you have the factor with his son too. And he's made statements that he wouldn't mind playing on the same team, as his son, kind of like a Ken Griffey Sr. Jr. Situation that they had going on there out in Seattle, with the MLB. So I could definitely see, something like that happening. But, with regard to Vegas being a sports mecca, yeah, I do see Vegas eventually becoming a 4-for-4 city, even a 5-sport city, with, actually no, 6, because you have to count the WNBA and the Las Vegas, the Las Vegas Aces. But right now, the hot topic, one of the hot topics out here is, will the Oakland A's, move here, and will the city of Las Vegas, or will Clark County fund the $1 billion stadium that they're looking to build out here, through a public private partnership. And then with that being said, Paul, I was listening to a radio show last night out here, and I'll tell you, this is the magnitude of my sports nuttiness. I put this sports radio show on. I heard what I wanted to hear on the show. I end up falling asleep with earbuds in my ear at 2 a.m. And I wake up and I'm like, what is that? What is that noise? And yeah, I ended up falling asleep with the earbuds on, and the radio still going. But the gist of the conversation that they were having regarding the Oakland A's last night was, are the fans going to be receptive here of the Oakland A's for a couple of reasons? Okay, they aren't willing to spend any money. They have one of the lowest payrolls in professional baseball. I think it's the Oakland A's, and then the Baltimore Orioles now are, that they have the lowest payroll in baseball. And then
I'm sorry about that. I hit the wrong button again.
Yeah, no problem. So what I essentially was saying was that even if they bring the team here to Las Vegas, is it really going to change the makeup of the team with them bringing the team here? Because the ownership isn't willing to spend money to attract quality free agents. They haven't won a World Series since 1989. That was the last time they won the World Series. So, basically what they were getting at on this sports radio show last night was, would the Vegas fan base buy into having the A's here? And the Las Vegas Aviators, the minor league stadium, they have their stadium, and their stadium holds it's either 8,000 or 8,500, and sometimes they don't even fill the stadium for the minor league games. So it's a question of will the locals accept the A's, as a part of this fan base. So it's very interesting. Things are definitely up and coming. There's always something to talk about. It's never boring in this in the sports market. I personally, I would be okay. I would be okay with the A's coming here, and I'll tell you why. Because even if the A's come out here and they're bad for a couple of years, you're still going to have people that are going to come to town. Like let's say when the New York Yankees come to town, or your Atlanta Braves, or the Phillies, or any of these bigger market teams. People will plan their vacations to Las Vegas around a sports schedule.
Right.
I've seen it. I've seen it with friends that have come out here, in the past, and so they definitely will. There might not be a lot of A's fans, in the stands, to start it off, but I would certainly be okay with them coming here, and I would try to get to as many games as I could. In fact, I would probably put my name on the list for some sort of season ticket plan. Not a full blown season ticket plan. Of 160. That magnitude. But I would do maybe like a Friday or Saturday plan, and that sort of a thing. And plus two, it would also give me the incentive to go to A's games, because Celeste and her family, they're originally from Oakland. So I would definitely have a desire to go to A's games. And then too, with the Oakland A's originating in Philadelphia, I joke with my future mother-in-law all the time. I say to her, well, all good things from Philly end up in Vegas in due time.
Well, I'm not out there yet, so you can't say that yet, Rob. Okay, you can't say that yet because I haven't relocated yet. Not yet, Rob. Put it that way.
Well, hey, let me know when you're coming, because you know what, Celeste, she does real estate for a living. So
I wish I would have known that, Rob. I wish I would have had that connection back then, because I did take a trip out there about 3 months before I moved here, Rob. I did take a venture out there and look at a couple homes, and I honestly, it was a coin toss between here and there. Honestly, it was.
Right.
Like I said, Vegas is my second home. I basically grew up, being in Palm Springs, 2.5 hours away from there, and my parents, they went up there every weekend. I told you before, Circus was my best friend. I lived there at that casino. When my parents gambled, I stayed there, and there was not a dull moment. You could do anything you want, But
they're actually doing major renovations to Circus.
Yeah, I did see some of the pictures, because I have a card out there with the MGM and Luxor when I go out there, and the Hard Rock, which you said they're under a new ownership now. So that's where I usually stay, because I always get comp for, I don't pay for a room. All I do is pay for my airfare. And even though I don't stay in the room for the weekend, I might spend 3 hours for the whole weekend, total in the room. But it's a city where you go, and just like Joe Sullivan said here, about the road trips, opposition fans will travel to Vegas. It's the best road trip. Even as a family, Rob, you go out there and the parents can gamble and say, hey, you know what, let's get a ball game. Let's go watch the Raiders. We can get tickets. We can go watch the the A's come here, we can go to an MMA event, we can go to a boxing event, the Aces, whatever you want, it's there. And that's, to me, Rob, like this little topic here, the sports mecca of the world, the future. I think it is going to become that, Rob, because you have a lot of these big guys out there trying to get to Las Vegas, bring the teams, because they know where the money's at. The city that never sleeps, Rob.
Right.
This is what it's going to be pretty soon.
Right. Definitely. And two, they were also saying, and they've been saying this for quite some time too, that they're looking at having a Major League Soccer team here eventually as well. And I think soccer would do quite well. Out here. Based on the diverse population that, the Las Vegas area, and Clark County definitely has. Now, personally, for me, I've tried to get into soccer, but for whatever reason, I just can't get into it. It's not really my thing. But hey, if I could get somebody that would be willing to even come on my show and talk soccer, if I could get somebody that was really knowledgeable, about the game of soccer, I would certainly branch out. We're always looking to expand here at Out of the Box Network. That's what makes this network thrive. And I can tell you that I wake up excited every day knowing, number one, that I have my real job is a pretty decent job. I have a roof over my head. I've got everything I could possibly, need. And then Out of the Box Sports Network just puts everything, over the top for me. I wake up in the morning and I'm like, you know what? I'm glad I'm doing this. And even Celeste said, I don't know if she watches the shows or not, because we certainly talk about it, all the time. And she's like, I'm so happy that you're finally doing this, because you've talked for so long about wanting to do this. So yeah, well, I mean, it's
Rob, real quick, not to cut you off, but when I started this, I was with Devereaux Sports for a while and a couple other networks, and it's a lot different here, Rob. It's out of the box. We don't care what fan you are. If you're passionate, you're happy, you want to talk sports, you're welcome to the network. And when I reached out to you, Rob, it was just when myself and Joey did that, we thought about it. We were like, you know what? Rob is a passionate dude. And, I look forward every morning. Katie yells at me all the time. She's like, this is like your job. Why are you posting to this page? Why are you doing that? Well, you know what? It's our obligation. It's our job to do that.
Right.
To make the page better every day. You wake up with one more viewer, one more like, and that goes a long way. You have to put in the hard work. You have to build the foundation first for anything to be successful. And I just want to say thank you, Rob, for coming on board with this network, because every 2x4 that we put up for another wall, it's not built by myself. It's built by every person on this show, down to myself, Joey Woods, Mike Loro, yourself, Matt Klein. We all do it. We all do it together, which I want to say thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh, definitely. It's great to be here, and just I'm loving every minute of it. So, I think with that being said, Paul, I think we've done a hell of a show, and I think we'll wrap it up, because I'm starting to smell something cooking good for dinner out here. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's.
If I can take 1 minute real quick of your time, Rob, can I just give a shout out real quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, real quick. As we talk about foundations being building, I want to say to Ken Fry, welcome to the team. Welcome to the Out of the Box Network, because you're going to be a host with Rob Heffner on the Vegas sports scene. So welcome to the family, to you, Ken Fry. And also, listen, all of our shows on Out of the Box, you can check them out. Check out all the shows on Out of the Box Network starting Tuesday, 10 p.m. If you're a UFC fan, boxing fan, check myself out and Joey Woods, Fight Club 215, talking all boxing MMA. Cowboys fans, them 215 boys, 9 p.m. with myself and Matt Klein, talking all Cowboys, where we keep it real. We don't sugarcoat anything. Thursdays, of course, you got Big Mike's 4 for 4 in the locker room, talking all Phillies and everything outside the box on all avenues of sports. Saturday mornings, Joey Woods. You can check him out, Out of the Ring Wrestling, talking all AEW, MMA, international wrestling, whatever you want to talk about. And you already know the man on the screen right now is the man from Sin City Live, Vegas sports team, Vegas Rob, and you already know him, Rob Heffner. And of course, on Friday nights at 7 p.m., you can check out my main man, Zach Harris from Fox Sports 980, releasing Zach Harris's Friday Night Tailgate. Audio segments on Twitter, YouTube, Twitch. And as always, please check out our network on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. Hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe button. Because without the viewers out there, none of this is even possible. So for myself, I'll let the main man, Vegas Rob, take us out of here.
All right, everybody. We'll have a great night, and we'll see you next week.
All right. Thank you for tuning in, guys.